Hi folks, HR Funk here, asking you to bear with me for a moment while we travel back through time to an era when manufacturers used to stand behind the products they produced. Now some of you remember those days. For those of you who are too young, believe it or not, there was a time that if you plunked down your hard-earned money for something and you had a problem with it, you could contact the manufacturer, and as a point of corporate pride, they would try to repair or replace whatever defective product you had. Unfortunately, those days have long since passed us by. For example, if you have a problem with your snazzy new smartphone, glitching out on you or causing some other problem, go ahead and give the manufacturer a call and let them know you want your money back or you want them to replace the phone. Let me know how that goes for you, because unless you plunk down some extra money when you purchase that phone for some special consideration later on if there was a problem, they're probably going to tell you just exactly how to go about purchasing another brand new phone from them. In any case, firearms manufacturers, depending upon exactly which one we're talking about, have ebbed and flowed with regard to how well they would take care of customers who had purchased a product and had issues with it. And I'm going to come back forward in time now to a period of a couple of months back when I reviewed the EAA MC14T, similar to the one that I'm holding here today. If you saw that review, you know that there were a lot of positive features with that handgun. In fact, there were a lot of things that I very much liked about it until I got to the range and started trying to shoot it, and I had multiple malfunctions with two different types of ammunition that I had with me out there that day. And as much as I wanted to like that handgun, I just couldn't give it a good review because of those functioning issues. So I returned that handgun to Hot Munitions. I produced the video that some of you saw. And by the way, if you want to see all of the information about the MC14T with regard to its features and functions, etc., go back and take a look at that initial video. Anyway, I returned the pistol that I had to Hot Munitions. I made them aware of the issues that I experienced with it, and I didn't think too much more about it until a few weeks ago when I was contacted by a gentleman who works for European American Armory. In fact, he sent me an email, and I did not ask his permission to use his name, so I'm just going to refer to him as Bill. Bill sent me an email and said that he had seen my review of the MC14T, and he went on to say that the problems I experienced with it were not typical for these handguns, and he asked if I could return the pistol that I had to them so they could examine it and try to find out what the problem was and get it corrected. Now this is unprecedented for me, folks. I have had problems with firearms in the past. I've made videos where I've talked about the firearms problems that I've had. And in some instances, I've contacted the manufacturers and I've returned the firearm to them for repair. Sometimes it's been repaired, sometimes not so much. But in any case, that's all been initiated by me. This is the first time that I have ever had a manufacturer, or in this case an importer, European American Armory, see one of my videos, see that I was having a problem with one of their products, and then contact me to try to correct it. Unfortunately, I had to let Bill know that I didn't have that pistol anymore, that I had returned it to House of Pain Munitions. And I was under the impression that that pistol was no longer available, but it turns out I was mistaken. But when I returned the email to Bill, I said that pistol was no longer available, so I was not going to be able to send it back. So Bill asked me if he could send me another pistol, and if he did so, if I would retest it to see if it performed better than the pistol that I had in the first video. Again, this is all unprecedented. I was extremely impressed with European American Armory going the extra mile to try to basically repair the damage to any reputation their product might have had because of the video that I produced and the problems I experienced with that handgun. So kudos to EAA. That is tremendous, tremendous customer service. Thank you. And here now is the pistol that Bill sent me for a retest. So in this video, I'm going to be doing exactly that. We're going to head back out to the range. This time I have several other types of ammunition that I'm going to be shooting through this pistol, and we'll see how this test goes with this part 2 now of my evaluation of the Girsan / EAA MC14T. So a couple of quick things before we head out to the range. First off, this time around, I'm only really looking at the functioning of this handgun, so I'm not going to go through my usual handgun testing battery. I'm only going to be shooting it from 7 yards to test the accuracy of this handgun, and I'll also be shooting it through multiple different types of ammunition just to see how it's going to function. So I won't be doing a lot of the failure drills and things like that like we typically see, although I am taking a look at the accuracy of each type of load that I'm using from a distance of 7 yards. Also, this handgun itself appears to have been used by the time it was sent to me, which I'm not really complaining about. I'm just pointing that out. It has quite a bit of finish wear that I see different places around the handgun, so I don't know if this was perhaps a test firearm that they had at EAA, or if maybe this was used at a trade show or something like that. In any case, it does show signs of having been used. So with that out of the way, let's head out to the range and we'll see how the testing went this time around. And I'm going to kick things off with a 7-yard accuracy test using the same ammunition that was causing the pistol problems the last time, the other MC14T. This is Winchester 95 grain full metal jacket, and you can see that it is a flat nose bullet. And we're going to see how it functions in this MC14T. By the way, the magazine is fully loaded, and as you can see, there is a round that's going to be in the chamber. So I'm going to be testing the magazine with the spring fully compressed as I shoot this accuracy drill. So here we go. And much like the first pistol that I tested, the first MC14T, the accuracy that I'm getting from that distance of 7 yards looks very good. It's a little bit to the left, also just like that first pistol that I tested. So this is shooting very, very similar to the one that I tested before. And also the recoil is just a little bit snappy. I mentioned that when I evaluated the first pistol because this is a straight blowback design. So you tend to get a little bit more snappiness in the recoil, but it's not unpleasant. So now I'm just going to finish out the remainder of the ammunition in this magazine. There should be 8 rounds left, so we'll see the functioning with the Winchester ammunition all the way through the full cycle of the magazine spring. And there's a malfunction. That's the exact same malfunction I was getting with this ammunition in the first pistol. I'm going to try to get the light so you can see it here. It is a failure to feed from the magazine, and the nose of the bullet basically is stopping right on the feed ramp. I hope you can see that there. So I'm going to clear this and see if I can finish off the magazine. Okay, chambered that time. Same thing again. Exact same malfunction. This is what I was getting the last time. Now I am going to try some other ammunition while I'm out here. But so far, neither one of these two MC14Ts has liked this Winchester ammunition. Which is too bad because the barrel likes it. I'm getting very good accuracy with it. I'm at about 5 yards now. I moved up a little bit from the initial accuracy test. But the accuracy looks good, but it just does not like those bullets. So let me switch to a different ammunition and see how it does with those. So it's deja vu all over again. This is the other ammunition that the first MC14T did not like. This is Hot Munitions 100 grain full metal jacket. You can see it also has a flat meplet like the Winchester ammunition that I just tested, but this has a more rounded ogive, so we'll see if this pistol likes this ammunition any better. There's a nice 7-yard group with the hot munitions ammunition. I pulled one shot to the right. I saw the sight move. This was me over here. The others are well centered there, so the accuracy is looking very, very good with the hot munitions ammunition. Now I'll try to make it through the rest of the magazine and we'll see what the functioning looks like. And there we go. That exact same malfunction again. Maybe it's these bullets with the flat meplet that this pistol doesn't like. I do have some other ammunition out here with me today, so I'm going to try some different ones, but so far everything seems much like it did the last time around. Let me get these last few rounds out of here. And either I got a misfire or the slide didn't lock back on the last round. I tend to think it's the latter. But just to be safe, I'll wait for a little bit. Chances of having a hang fire with modern ammunition is very, very remote. But still, better safe than sorry. And no, just the slide didn't lock open after that last round. So let me grab a different type of ammunition and we'll see what happens with it. Next up, I have got some 95 grain Remington ammunition, and you can see this has a rounded meplet. So we'll see if this MC14T likes this type of bullet profile any better. So again, the accuracy looks very, very good. There's no question in my mind that this is an accurate pistol, as was the first one that I had. The only issue has been that functioning. So now let's see what happens when I try to run out the rest of this magazine. And it made it all the way through. So it seems to like the Remington bullets with that round profile. Let me move on to something else now and we'll see how it does with a different sort of ammunition. So next up is the first hollow point ammunition that I'm going to try. This is House of Pain 95 grain jacketed hollow points. Obviously it has a squared off bullet nose and a very cone shaped ogive. So we'll see how this runs in the MC14T. So once again, decent 7-yard group. I was aiming for the clock in the middle of my terrorist bomb here. And very good accuracy. Couldn't really ask for much more than that. I can tell that this House of Pain munitions jacketed hollow point has a little bit more zip to it as I'm shooting it, but the accuracy continues to be fine, and so far, so is the functioning. Let's see what happens when I finish out the magazine. Okay, and the House of Pain hollow points ran just fine out of this MC14T. Now let me try something different. So next up is a Federal 99 grain HST jacketed hollow point. You can see it has a fairly rounded ogive, but of course it's a hollow point, so it has a flat bullet profile, or flat meplet profile. I don't have a lot of this ammunition, so I'm only going to run 5 rounds of the Federal HST through the MC14T. So what I've done in order to get a full magazine and full magazine spring compression is I've loaded 7 rounds of that Remington full metal jacket ammunition and then 5 rounds of the HST on top of it. And I'm going to start things off with the round in the chamber is also going to be a round of the Remington FMJ ammo because I want all 5 of the HSTs to cycle through the action of the pistol just to see how it's going to function. So again, the 7-yard accuracy looks good with that Federal HST. This was 6 shots because, as I said, the very first shot that I fired in order to facilitate the cycling of the pistol was a round of that Remington full metal jacket, followed by 5 rounds of the Remington or the Federal HST rather. And the accuracy continues to look good. The functioning was good with that ammunition. So it seems the MC14T is a bit of a quandary, and we'll talk about this more back in the shop. So after shooting through all those different types of ammunition, I decided to give those initial couple of loads another try just to see if maybe after some break-in I would get better functioning than I got when I first started out. So I loaded up the magazine again with both the Winchester and the House of Pain full metal jacket ammunition that was causing the functioning problems in the first place. I had 5 rounds of each in the magazine. I loaded it up and tried to fire out those 10 rounds. And here's how that went. So folks, here at the end of the video, I'm in sort of the same place where I was after the first video. I really want to like this handgun. I am just amazed by the fact that I was contacted by EAA and Bill sent me a replacement handgun for a retest that is just tremendous. And with ammunition that it likes, it certainly functions well. It's extremely shootable, and if you look at the targets back here behind me, hopefully you can see these bullet holes. It's a very, very shootable handgun. It just basically stacks bullets on top of each other. And for a lot of these, I wasn't even trying that hard. I was just lining up the sights and squeezing the trigger, and you can see the resulting groups from any kind of a reasonable handgun combat range. There is no problem whatsoever with the accuracy or the shootability of the MC14T. On the other hand, with ammunition it doesn't like, again, we saw those same functioning issues that I had with the first pistol. So I think in the end what I'm going to say is it's going to be an individual choice for all of you. If you are willing to find ammunition for the MC14T that it likes, and you're willing to shoot enough of it to develop the confidence you need to be able to use this handgun for defensive purposes, then this might be the pistol for you. If you're not willing to make that kind of an investment, then maybe it's not. Again, there are a lot of great characteristics of this handgun. It's a classic design with some thoughtful updates for the modern era, but still it has that nagging functioning problem with ammunition that it doesn't care for. So in any case, that's the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, as always, make sure you forward those to me. Remember, if you purchase anything from Optics Planet, be sure to use my discount code, which is... And if you use that discount code, it's good for 5% off your purchase from Optics Planet. Also remember the discount code for Hot Munitions. And by the way, Hot Munitions handled receiving this handgun from EAA and process the paperwork to be able to forward it to me. So thanks to Hot Munitions for helping out with this project. And if you go to Hot Munitions, you can use my discount code there, which is HRFUNK10, and that'll save you 10% on your purchase from Hot Munitions. Last but not least is a Target sponsor, and these are some of their targets back here behind me that I was using again today. Go to Target's online, check out their inventory, and see if they have anything that's going to meet your target needs. See you next time, folks. And until then, good shooting. Bye-bye.